Hi, it's Phil Morton here. A presentation about System 50/50. One, this assumes you know what it's about, and two, that the musical content is driven by what's known as free improvisation. Within free System 50, I offer there's three variables to consider, and there they are. You could pause the screen now to read them. I'm now going to move on. Whoops. Don't do that. I'm going to now move on. And now I'm going to speculate that there is a mathematical process we can use as a tool to help design or shape performance as a System 50/50, leading to a new term, the density index. So let's go review how I've come to this. In a recent practice as research session report session, Mr. Morton reports there was a trio that played, and in section 1 the trio has 3 players. The duration of the piece, I think there is 6 minutes. The ratio is 1:1, or what we call 50/50, and so therefore the timings, I'm getting my maths wrong here, the duration is 4 minutes and the timings is tacit 2 minutes and free play 2 minutes. And here is the outcome of the sound on the playing. To save time, I suggest you stop the screen, pause and read the notes there. Quick summary, it's thin is the sound, and I'm going to leave it at that. So moving on, we can generate an equation there, and so we have the number of players. He says the number of players is 3, tacit time 120 seconds divided by 3 play time gives us a value of 3. You can stop the screen and have a look at that, and I've called this the density index. There you go. You hear that? There we go. So let's move on to the second section of this practice as research performance. Section 2, 3 players, duration of the piece 240 seconds, which I think is 4 minutes. This time the ratio is 1:3, 33% to 66%, which was 90 seconds, and 270 seconds. That's 1.5 minutes and 4.5 minutes. And here is the sound. Here's the reflections. Suggest you pause the screen and read through that. So that was unanimous as well, a very different reaction to the first piece. So then we have an equation, and repeat what we had before. Number of players, different free play time over tacit time, actually now gives us a value of 9 as a density index. So this could be interesting. We have an equation to help structure the session. So here we have again the equation. You can pause the screen, have another look at it if you wish. Now I'm going to speculate, how would you get a density index, and maybe that therefore the same experience or feedback from the players? How would you get a density index of 3 with 20 players? Which is kind of an interesting thought, and well, it interests me obviously. And so here we have it. Number of players is 20. Free play time is a mere 3 minutes. Divided by a tacit time of 20 minutes. Yeah, gives you a density index here of 3. Total time is playing time is 23 minutes. Maybe pause the screen, have a look at that. And then I've got some algebraic nonsense here which I haven't quite worked out. And so this is something to think about. We've got this little index which helps us shape the design of the piece. This could help a lot. Let's say if you take Blank Canvas Octet, if there's 8 players scheduled to play but only 5 turn up, you could play around with this mathematical formula to shape the duration of the pieces, really, and start to measure their outcomes. Also, to speculate, if we go right back to the beginning, where we got this contrast between a density index of 9 and 3, it'd be interesting to see if we do the maths to get a density index of 6, which is in between, and what would be the musician's response. Obviously, that's a research project to come. So, to sum up, new concept, density index, which helps us play around with this thing here, the number of players, duration of play, ratio of tacit time, and different types of responses, different types of musical outcomes or sound outcomes. Is sound thin? Is it thick? Is it developmental or just placement? You name it, we can do it. And I think this is interesting. Density index, I'll leave that with you. That's my first draft. Hope it all makes sense. You can go back through the video, pause it, and make what you will. And clearly this piece here, 20 players playing for 23 minutes, would be fun to try. It might be difficult to arrange. That's it for now. Cheerio.